I don't think there's a credible case for Kobe being a better NBA player than LeBron James.
I don't even know who you are anymore. I'm going to call you Channing Whitlock. I don't, okay, I want to be completely honest about this. About 4 or 5 years ago, I was left very bitter at the end of the Kobe Bryant run with the Lakers. His injuries, the bloated contract, the way the last several seasons were when the Lakers just went into the dumps. It was actually a historic bad run for that franchise. And it clouded and distorted my view, okay? And I've been on the record, because I know people are going to dig it up, where I thought LeBron had a better overall floor game and made people and his teammates better. I have said that, and I thought that. But, okay, we're allowed to change our minds here. I'm allowed to change my mind. Think about this. Who's had better teammates throughout their career? Who's had more blue-chip all-star level players throughout their career? Kobe or LeBron? Who's done more with them?
When did LeBron ever have arguably the most impactful best player in the game? Kobe won 3 titles with Shaquille O'Neal, when Shaquille O'Neal was an unstoppable force and arguably the best player in the league.
Okay, so Kobe Bryant actually won without Shaq. Now let's go back to your original statement. Do you believe that Kobe was carried by Shaq for all 3 titles?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
I think he was Robin to his Batman, though. But yeah,
well,
not carried.
I don't see. Yeah, that's a pejorative. That is a pejorative. And you know me, Jason. I'm a Laker fan, but I'm not part of the cult of Kobe. Okay, I'm actually probably one of the few Laker fans that can actually look at this guy and not look at him as some sort of superhero. I think a lot of Laker fans do fall into that hero worship. But I've made this statement before. Without Kobe Bryant, who was the only player on that whole roster that on the perimeter could create their own shot and shoot consistently off the dribble, that team would have had some real issues against the Portland Trail Blazers, who they escaped from in the first run. And then you look at what he did against some of these other teams like San Antonio, who never had an answer for him. And I get it. Shaq won the finals MVP 3 years in a row. But, Jason, there was a huge imbalance between the East and the West in those days. And all of the hard work was done getting to the NBA Finals, and then Shaq could beat up on a bunch of fives that were not that good. I think that has to be factored into it. Just calling him a Robin, I think, is shortchanging him just a little bit.
That's a nice piece of nuance that does need to be taken into account. It's actually what they did in the Western Conference half of the playoffs that was the most difficult. And then, yeah, that's a nice piece of nuance.
I just want to jump in. Am I the only person who was around in 2010 to watch him walk around, get crushed in the Eastern Conference semifinals as he was leaving Cleveland?
Eastern Conference
semifinals. This is LeBron,
yes,
when he was with Cleveland.
Celtics.
Right before, yes, to the Celtics, got destroyed, 120-88, and walked around. I think it was Brian Windhorst that wrote at the time, his mind is made up, he's checked out. This is right before the decision. So acting like Kobe's the only guy to ever give up in a game, when you are the guy, like you're supposed to be the dude, then you, from there, have spent the rest of your career Hall of Fame hopping to different teams until you can finally get the titles that you want.
Listen, the exit from Cleveland in that Boston series is only surpassed by the 2011 finals against the Dallas Mavericks. That's one of the most embarrassing things that a superstar player has ever been involved with, what Dirk Nowitzki and Dallas did to him. This again speaks to, Joe, just how dominant LeBron has been, is that even with those terrible blemishes, just over the course of his career, again, all the MVPs, he's got 4 MVPs, I believe. And again, just like Scap said, he's been in the top 5 11 different times.
Yeah, no, in 2014 against the Spurs in the finals, another brutal one. Yeah. He packed it in the second half. And so, I mean, the guy's given up routinely. This is the part that you can't quantify, and we're talking about stats and MVPs and all that. He's a crappy leader. He runs around. He can't elevate any of his teammates. He runs to teammates with great talent and then says, hey, I need to win a championship with you.
Bitcoin isn't going anywhere, so why not start stacking some today? The Fold app gives you Bitcoin rewards when you buy gift cards. At Amazon, Uber, DoorDash, and Home Depot, over 50 national merchants. Go to foldapp.com/Whitlock right now. New users get a Bitcoin bonus with their first gift card purchase. Start earning Bitcoin rewards today. Fold app.
Guys,
Go ahead.
we never
Go
actually
ahead,
saw
Steve.
the best of Kobe win an MVP. The Kobe that was the year or two where he was actually very disgruntled when Shaq went to Miami. Those 2 years where Kobe's literally going 2 weeks at a time, scoring 40 points every game, but he had to carry Smush Parker, Chris Mim, LaRon Profit. The best version of Kobe actually never really won an MVP as the lead dog, the clear lead guy, or an NBA championship, even though he won the MVP in 2008, I believe. Now, let me give you two more evidence of where I think Kobe was on par with Shaq. If you go back to Game 4 of the first championship they won, Jason, you might have been at this game, and TJ, you were probably in preschool. Lakers are up 2-1. Kobe gets his ankle sprained because Jalen Rose does that cheap thing where he steps right on his foot or he undercut him. So Lakers lose Game 3, and it's 2-1, and we're at the 2-3-2 format at that point. So I'm thinking, okay, so Game 4 is pretty important. And I'm thinking, okay, we're good. Back and forth game was a Sunday night. And this big dummy goes over the back of Rick Smits with 5 fouls in the first 20 seconds of overtime. And I'm thinking, oh, my goodness. Shaq just fouled out. We're up 2-1, and Conseco Fieldhouse is going crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, we might be down 3-2 going back to the Staples. Guys, the last 4.5 minutes, what a 20 or 21-year-old Kobe Bean Bryant did was among the greatest things I have ever seen. He hit about 4 or 5 shots in that overtime. I was in awe, and it was the first time. Now, Shaq and Kobe were kind of like this, right? In that next press conference, Shaq had that famous line, Kobe Bryant, that's my idol. Then, let's fast forward, the back-to-back year. Shaq and Kobe were about to kill each other because Shaq got lazy, didn't get his surgery. The Lakers scuffled for about 3/4 of that year, and Derek Fisher had a broken foot or something. The Lakers get absolutely rolling in the playoffs. They went 15-1, but where they won the title was not against the Sixers. Game 1 against the number 1 seeded Spurs with a prime Tim Duncan and still a very good Robinson. Guys, I have never seen any player attack the rim and dominate in the paint the way Kobe did. He had like 45 points. And again, Shaq once again said, that's my idol. And I was in awe. I said, you know what? This guy's better than just great. Guys, I'm just telling you, it wasn't just Shaq posting up, scoring 40 points a game in the playoffs in the West. That is simply not true.